milkshake you like. Oh my God!
They're already on the boss. Okay, all right, here we go.
Okay, here we go. This is the first time that we've gotten to take a look at this boss, the first boss. Are they going to be able to get world first? The lantern, like Asmongold just said, is the world first mechanic.
Okay, there it is, Echoing Screech. So those are the balls going out, and obviously he had to give the lantern debuff onto them so they can see those Echoing Screeches. Now those are going to be moving around the room and ping-ponging around. Now he's doing this rotation, so basically one player is just handling the lantern, probably some God mode Moon Boy. And as you see, is casting the Shriek. They get right behind the pillar. Nobody gets hit by that at all, except for the Hunter that moved too early, can't win them all. And then obviously one guy we've got already down. They get him rest back up. Hey, you can't, that's
so keep in mind,
are there for a reason.
Even with the lantern mechanic right now, even though you aren't going to be able to actually see those sound waves that are getting sent out by the screen mechanics, they are there, but they are very predictable, and that's why the positioning of the boss is going to be absolutely paramount. Now when the mechanic goes out, you can actually control and bait it to go the right way. So you want to be using...
They're seeing them do the lantern at the right before Echoing Screech goes out, and that way the entire raid has the debuff at the same time that the balls are going out. And so now we're going to see another Screech here going over there. Now because they already had some of the red stuff go over there, they're going to be going over the right pillar here. Now we just had 2 Screeches happen, which means that we're probably going to have him teleport to the middle, and they probably should not be in the middle there. This guy's going to die.
They're going to get smoked.
Oh no, they're trying to do extra damage to him inside of the Blood Shroud. What a play.
Wow.
These guys are,
Pog,
they're in it to win it.
Yeah, they're trying to get all that damage out that they can. And as Asmon already mentioned, this is going to be a 2-phase fight. And after you see the mechanic go out 2 times in phase 1, you dip into phase 2. This is our first look so far ever at this phase in Mythic. And as you can see right now, they got to use the lantern as they go for these pillars. They need to be line of sight.
Everybody needs to be together.
And you can't get hit by those white balls.
If you are inside of the red circle of the boss, you're dead. If you are not inside the red circle of the lantern, you are probably going to be dead. So they're line of sighting it. Every single player alive, except for the person that did die, they're recovering from the damage from the lantern in the transition phase, and they get back on the boss.
Just look how impressive the movement is.
And also,
it's like they're paying attention to the game.
But also look at it this way. Exactly what S-Fan said. S-Fan's paying attention to the movement. And when you look at movement in this fight, we thought that movement in the second phase might be the area that it got more difficult when you are actually using that lantern, that added difficulty. The thing that we are seeing, though, right now is it's already starting to get super sloppy on the floor. It's looking like a streamer's bedroom right now. These sanguine puddles might be a soft and rage mechanic.
They are a soft and rage mechanic, but what you have to remember is that there are enough pillars right now. I believe there's 4 or 6 pillars on this platform that they're going to be able to use throughout the entire thing. Healer mana is a non-issue. Healers are doing fine. Some people do have a high mana stacks. They get to line of sight the Shriek again. They're completely fine. It's not a big deal. It doesn't even matter. And then obviously they just recover. They get right back on the boss. And so this is the rotation. You see the lantern going out, Echoing going out, and then the Shriek happening after that. Everybody condenses inside behind a pillar. And what we're going to be looking at here are probably 2 transitions and a third main phase as a kill.
Already, they've managed to get it down to 34%. I do want to mention
this is where Warriors rise.
This is very much where the execute's going to matter. But here is something that is
not
really
execute. It's condemn.
It's the same thing. No, execute any time that you're in an execute phase. It's an execute for any class. Everybody understands what that is. You can call it condemn all you want, but you want to know what this is. This is what I call a pull like this, nice and early. They didn't go for their boxes maybe as much, so they can see what loot they get from this boss, and then they can pick the piece with more information.
So here, right here, they're doing damage. The warrior charges for more rage. He charges again with double time. They're getting extra damage as well. They're attacking him. Now this Blood Shroud is going to knock everybody back, and he's probably going to maybe have to intervene. He doesn't even need to do that. He positioned himself to where the knockback is going to put him right behind line of sight. Now we have Echoing, and they're all stacking up for the lantern. Now they drop the lantern just for a second there so they can clear their stacks and they don't get overwhelmed because the lantern's radius is smaller whenever somebody's not holding it versus whenever somebody is. They're using Spirit Wing to keep everybody alive. We're going to have the first Shriek going out right here. They're repositioning, and then there we go. This could actually be a wipe. If they don't get this, it could be a wipe. All they have to do is get through this phase and they kill the boss.
So they have a number of battle reses. Is there a reason that I'm not thinking of why they haven't rezzed?
Where do you see their battle reses?
Don't they have the battle res on the druids?
No, they've already you can only use 1 battle res per fight, and then you start with 1 and then it refreshes.
They can use
after 3
another
minutes.
battle res in 4 minutes right now.
Yes.
I believe is the timer based off of what we see right
This
here.
is
So
a
they
kill.
can't pull anyone up. It's looking like it might be a world first kill.
GG. This is an easy GG for BDGG.
Very much. And one of the things that you got to keep in mind that they did very well was they used those immunities when they were out of real estate with that Sanguine. If this fight went on any longer, this was why that extra damage was so paramount. They wouldn't have room.
Even when they fuck up, they don't fuck up. That's how it looks right there. And so you have Echoing Screech go out again, one probably last time, and then you have the Lantern going out, keeping the buffs up, making sure that nobody else is getting hit by them. And then right here, they're in execute range. This guy's in execute mode.
Get the fucking pinata hung up. This is looking like a world first kill. They're going to be dodging one more time. They go behind the pillar. They still do have a Spirit Link to invest as well. Instantly going to charge back. 6% left back on the boss. They start to just tear it apart. Condemns flying through. Shadow Priest, who also have an execute, are going to be topping the meter. DK pops up just in the nick of time. He's going to be screenshotting it because it's going to be a world first parses. We see the first boss of Nyalotha topple before BDGG.
There it is.
Wow.
BDGG.
There it is, boys. There it is.
Show me the loot.
Show me the perpy boys. Show
And
me the perpy boys.
So this was the thing, Asmongold.
See you like that?
Dude, that is absurd.
That's my class.
That is absurd.
That's skill, by the way.
But we're about to get this pool underway, and like we said a little bit earlier, this is looking like the conventions that Soda Poppin goes to. Let's talk about what some of these furry creatures are going to be doing in this fight.
Basically, the way this fight's going to work is they're going to pull the boss, and Huntsman, Altimor, and the dog that he has active share health and share damage. So that means if Huntsman takes under damage, the dog takes under damage. If the dog takes under damage, Huntsman takes under damage. So what makes sense is for Huntsman to be stacked up with the first dog, spread out with the second dog because of an ad that spawns that runs to him, and we're going to have to talk about that in a few minutes whenever it happens, and then stacked up again with the third dog, Helicore, I believe that's his name. Well, so again, we're going to have
you feel me?
We're going to have Margor. The way this is going to work
Red
here.
or green?
Yeah, we're going to have Margor. He's going to be basically doing a jump bleed, and every single person that gets hit by that bleed, they need to split the damage of the bleed, and then simultaneously they also need to split the damage of the Sin Seekers. So as you can see here, you've got Huntsman Altimor doing his normal cast, that's just basic raid damage, and then spread shot there going out, and then of course people are just doing complete damage. First Vicious Lunge goes out, people are going to be soaking it. Each person that soaks it does get a dot right there that's going to give them a bleed. There's the dot. Obviously it did almost nothing, but you do have that dot being applied to a lot of people in the raid. Then you see Sin Seekers on top of that. They're having a little bit of problems here with coordination, and you see people get down really low, but they end up actually surviving with that. That was such a good recovery there, and you see multiple people with this Sin Seeker dot. You're seeing the raid damage happening, all of the range trying to stack up and at the same time be spread apart for some of these other debuffs as well, and then Melee are just cleaving down the ads. That's the second jump there, and Margor is already almost dead.
Yeah, this first part of the fight does not seem hard at all.
Well, it does if you realize how much healing it is.
Yeah.
This is a hugely healing-intensive fight, and these healers are absolutely popping off.
This is a
so
huge
you're gonna see
heal check.
they're not even going to have this first jump. Is it going to happen? Oh my God! They kill it before the third jump.
Wow.
These guys are popping off. They've got Pyroblast going out. Then you've got Barghast. Barghast needs to be separated from the boss as well. The reason for that is because he's going to be casting an ability called Reap Soul. Now, Rip Soul. I'm not really sure exactly what it is. There it is, Rip Soul. Now this is going to rip the soul out of the target that's right next to him, and then that needs to be healed
What a good
by.
shot of that too. We can see
Yep,
that well.
that's right. It needs to be healed by the healers before it gets to the boss. Now, as you can see there, as soon as Barghast got Rip Soul off, in between the cast of Rip Soul, we're going to be having him stacked on top of Huntsman for maximum damage. Both of the shades are going to be CC'd. Now, what happens if the shades get CC'd? Now, the reason why these guys are moving back with Sin Seekers here is because each one of these Sin Seekers will actually spawn another one of these different casts, the Rip Souls that need to be healed by healers. This is the big healing cooldown here. Massive healing cooldown, and we have a fourth one happening on the right side of Huntsman as well.
Yeah, and it is so crazy, like Asmon said, to see how the healers are actually dealing with this. Keep in mind, if you're just tuning in right now, this is going to be the first pool that BDGG currently has on this fight. Also, they are very far ahead in this race already, and it is going to be
They had a reset there.
The
reason why they did the reset is that there was a problem, I think, with the ads. The ads weren't really killed quite as fast, and I think it also could have been an issue with the healing as well. And here we go, boys. We'll see. I think that we're going to see a little bit bit of a strat switch up here. I mean, they've already had 2 wipes on this boss, so I think they've felt out pretty much what to expect and how to move them around. And again, you're going to see basically the damage from spread shot. This is, again, pretty much unavoidable raid damage to a certain extent. And at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. Making sure that you kill those shades is probably the most important thing. And I really do believe that if they can get through the shades and kill those, that we're probably going to see a kill of the boss. First time they get through the Barghast phase, I think it's going to be pretty much GG. Now, I could be wrong because Heracor does do a lot of damage. It's a massive amount of raid damage. And also, by the way, the reason why Heracor does raid damage, we'll talk about that. Actually, you know what? Let's just talk about that whenever we get there. So then you see the spread shots going out. Sorry, Sin Seekers going out. People spreading out. A lot of dots, and again, people need to extra people need to soak those to where there's not too much raid damage on the people that actually get hit by them. People group up there for the vicious lunge. You see a barrier going down. Margor runs back, and this is going to be an easy kill again for them. And there's no way we're going to see another jump right there at all.
Yeah, the phase 1 of this fight is really, really easy.
Yep.
Phase 2 it just starts to unravel though, and that's what's so terrifying is how healing intensive it is, and it's almost like you're trying to keep a boat afloat, and you're like trying to plug holes everywhere, and it eventually just overwhelms you.
This boss is very, very challenging to do, and I think he's one of the harder bosses to do in this early raid, this early part of the raid. So you see again Ripsoul going out from Barghast here. Now obviously it's going to be running over to Huntsman. Heroes, this is going to be one of the easier ones, okay? So this is just 1, and if you compare this 1 to the really 4 or 5 that they're going to have to deal with in just a couple of seconds here, this is a complete joke part of the fight. So they stack him up on top of Huntsman just for a little bit of extra cleave damage, and then they reposition Barghast to the other side of the room.
Interesting.
And that way they're able to avoid, and you see obviously those are Sen Seekers, and again the Sen Seekers in phase 2 do spawn. That's a lot of adds. That's a lot of adds. You see a Healing Tide Totem go up, 2 Healing Tide Totems go up. No, sorry, that's just 1 Healing Tide Totem. I thought I saw 2 of them. And obviously those ads just getting completely despawned. Now that last Ripsoul is almost next to the boss, but it's okay. And now we're going to see the damage on the Shades of Barghast. So obviously Huntsman is being moved over to the first Shade, and then they're going to be burning him down right now and interrupting the death.
Look at how fast it drops.
Oh, yeah, it's super fast.
And
the second one is going to die even faster. So second one immediately comes in. They knew what they did last time wrong, and now they're trying to do this one even better.
Watch this
they
chat.
Just delete it. And so as long as they can get that interrupt out, it's over. They killed it. Yeah, they killed it. And then Barghast, they have to do this twice. They have to do this twice, and then they kill it. Barghast just dropped his second set of the Shades, and now he's stacked up on Huntsman again, so they can get a little bit of extra damage. And now we're also going to be seeing Sin Seeker go out right now. There's Sin Seeker, and all of them are going to be spreading out, moving to the very back of the room. That way healers have the most amount of time that they're able to heal. You can see, obviously, the Shaman there who's pre-casting a healing, I don't know, the healing ground thing, right? Whatever the hell that is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on it right now. Immediately healing those up, so they walk right through it. Barghast is dying here, and then as you can see, all they need to do is kill these 2 ads. There's the first ad. The interrupt just went out. Barghast is down, and now we're going to see Heracor going out.
There's big raid damage going out.
Massive raid damage here, but all they need to do is take care of the second Shade of Barghast. They're pretty slow on it. This could be bad. This could be really. I think this is a wipe. I think it's a wipe. Yeah, this.
Yeah,
it's over. Yeah, I mean, they just didn't kill that second Shade.
That was so improvement. That was so good.
That was absolutely
That was such a good attempt.
But let's take a look. If they are going to be able to bring down this boss, best pull so far, 39% as we take a look
Can we
at
go ahead and get the
BDG's pull.
That was a pretty good pull, I'd say. Yeah, it was a good pull. I mean, definitely a massive improvement over what they had before. They got onto Heracor face. And as you can see there, they're actually doing a great job there. And so they've got him separated. He's not moving right now, which means that there's going to be heavy tank damage happening. And remember, as soon as the last boss dies, or the last dog dies, the boss takes double damage. So this is like basically a GG. All they need to do is kill this last boss right here. It should be no problem whatsoever. So there we go. We have the Petrifying Howl. This is what the people need to move out with.
Yeah.
Now, moving out with this causes you to not drop the Void Zone in the raid. And you see, they just moved out right there with that. And then we're going to see...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're seeing... This is one last set of Sin Seekers. Like, as long as these people... Even if these people die, it doesn't matter. Like, literally, it does not make a difference whatsoever. All they need to do kill is
might be it.
And then, actually, you see the Rip Soul that's coming over towards Huntsman. And obviously, healers are just tabbing over to it. They've already got the heal. It's no big deal.
This is it.
And then this is is the easy kill. This is it, dude.
BDGG.
Wow.
That is 2.
Number 2, boys.
Dude, they are owning. They are
man.
owning already. Dude, seriously, show some love, guys, to BDGG.
Let's see the loot. Wait a minute. Can we see the loot?
Loot. Oh my God, they've put on such a beautiful show
really
already too.
Yeah.
They're doing great.
Go through. That's too bad.
It took 4 wipes for them to be able to get it down, but that is their second
that's
world
incredibly
first kill.
I'm really impressed about the about how they accommodated the different strategies. And as I said before, phase 2 is the struggle. Everything else before and after that is a joke. Here we go with Hungering Devourer. This is a new boss, and Lazarus Imperative is taking a new direction, and they're going to go on him instead. Probably because they watched BDGG and saw how ridiculous Kael'thas was. That was insane. So this boss right here is going to have 1 extra mythic mechanic. Now the heroic mechanic, the way that one works, is that every single time that the boss casts his large AoE where everybody has a circle around them, then as soon as that ends, then they're going to be able, of course. Yes, as soon as that ends.
He's making the same hand motion as you as you're describing it.
Yeah.
I was looking at the boss. Okay, I was like so confused. All right, yeah. Okay, yeah, so basically the little circles are going to spawn, and then you need to soak those. Usually at the very beginning of the fight, everybody soaks them, and then at the very end of the fight, you're going to have immunity soak them based off of what's happening. Now, this boss in terms of tank, since we're looking from a tank perspective, you obviously see Kyrian Demon Hunter there dropping Elysian Decree, and you see one person already putting his debuff with the tank. That way they can preserve as much raid damage as possible because tanks are already going to be taking off damage on their own. Now, the way this works is that the Gluttonous Miasma debuff is just a circle that prevents prevents you from taking over. You guys take over. I had to right.
That's the first time he's actually breathed the whole time.
So you see here, they have to move out. They have to separate. They got to make sure that they're they separate for the damage there. They don't want to be stacked on top of each other. That's where they have the circles. You go in here, and I believe there's doesn't he do AoE damage here on the slam? I thought he did.
Yes, so Volatile Ejection basically targets 4 random players, and if you get hit by that, if you basically get hit by somebody else's, and you get hit again, like let's say it targets you, or you get hit by it twice, it's just an instant kill. Even on normal mode it is. So you can see here, this is a huge amount of spreading that they need to do, and then they condense again, but unfortunately there's only about 8 people alive in the raid, so it's definitely going to be looking like a wipe here. Yeah, let's see how Lazarus is doing on the Hungering Devourer, and they are already 10 pulls into this. They're already 15 maybe even pulls into this. I'm not sure if they have a wipe counter up for this, but I think that we've seen at least 7 or 8 of them. So there's probably a few that we've missed as well. Well, if you guys think you've seen a lot of balls, you haven't seen anything yet. There's going to be a lot more. By the time that this boss gets to 20%, 10% health,
now I'm excited.
This whole room is going to be balls. It's going to be insane. So whenever we look at this fight, I mean, this is something that has, and I really like fights like this personally, because I like enrage timers that aren't enrage timers. They're just straight up, the fight just gets harder and harder and harder the longer it goes on, and it's just a matter of playing it properly and doing it right, and the enrage timer is kind of a little bit more, somewhat more random.
You know when I felt like they really started to perfect that?
Yeah.
We've seen it more and more now. It was
Thunder.
Avatar as well.
Oh, Avatar,
when the floor was actually crumbling beneath
Oh, yeah,
you.
like a visual enrage timer. Yes, I like that.
And they did that with... They did that with the bridge guy as well.
Croesus,
he's knocking off pieces of the bridge. So they've done some really cool stuff with that in the past, and this already, as it usually is with castles, it's all about the real estate. Now we're going to see those interesting Venn diagrams popping up, everybody trying to spread out around the room to do exactly what Asmon said. This also, I will say, looks like one of the fights where it really does come down to how much gear do you got.
Oh, yeah, this is absolutely a gear-intensive fight because the more gear you have, the only thing that doesn't really count for gear here, there's 2 things, because Consume got buffed, I guess. But besides that, the only other thing that really doesn't account for gear is Volatile Ejection. Now, this AoE is clearly going to be affected by gear. Being able to absorb the Miasma is clearly going to be affected by gear. But the one thing that you're going to struggle with a lot is being able to do Volatile Ejection and also Consume. And that's something that you can't really outgear. That guy's already moving out, and then he goes right right back in there. And as you guys can see, they're doing kind of like a 4-square pattern around the boss, and this is an incredible pull for them. They're already ready to move back. See, he's moving back already because very soon here we're going to see the transition for Consume. Now, whenever the boss reaches 100 energy, he casts Consume. And I also, again, like whenever Blizzard does that, to where they create the boss mechanic timers by them having some sort of energy bar that they need to fully complete. I'm a big fan of that. So, as you can see right there, we've got 19 people, 18 people alive right now going into that first Consume. This is, as far as I know, their best pull. And even with 2 more people down, it's still progress for them. So again, they've just got to be making sure they're soaking those gluttonous miasmas and then also avoiding this AoE damage that's going to be doing just, you know, I guess more and more damage over the course of the fight because heroes are going to have less and less resources. And again, tanks even are going to have to swap for this because every single successful melee attack that this boss does on a tank makes the next melee attack do even more damage. So that's why taunts are going to be happening very fast. He's going to be going back and forth very, very regularly. And then there's one of the beams for you guys that haven't seen it before. That right there was a little arrow over your head. That is the volatile ejection debuff that actually causes that big beam to come out from behind you that nobody else except for you can be in. But this actually for them, I know it might not seem like it, that was a really good pull for them. They did a great job.
A lot on the reps in a boss fight like this, and wow, we come in at a very good time.
Oh my God, this is gonna.
They have so many down
already.
Kill it.
They're not gonna kill it.
They have so many down already.
This
is
crazy. Look at this improvement. Are they gonna be the first guild to go for 3 of 10? Oh, yo, we have to see
Blood
this.
Legion.
Dude, Lazarus Imperative coming in clutch on the Hungering Devourer. What a play here. And they actually, I think they might be trying to play it out. Now, they're a little bit higher. If they had half as much health that they could have dealt with, they probably could have killed him there. He's still got 3 million health left. That's a little bit too much. But still, what an incredible play right there. And you can see, guys, remember what I was telling you about the balls? There's a lot of balls.
And there's going to be more.
And
Let's
there it
see if
is.
they can play this out.
It's still going to go out. And, yeah, of course, they're just trying to play this out as long as they can. They think that they can kill it. I think there's like a 0% chance this can happen because the next Consume is going to out-heal their damage. But still,
it's just reps, though, like you said. I mean,
they might be they might be
this is a repetition boss. It's a repetition. You do it, you die, you do it, you die, you do it again. And that's all there is to it.
If it gets to a reset, NA's advantage is obviously palpable. But if the raid is really easy, obviously NA has a huge advantage as well because they just come out in front. What does happen with the EU, though, is when they get in on the next day, they're going to have smoother, cleaner kills because a lot of the details of the strategy are going to be hammered out. But they don't have reps yet.
They're going to be caught up probably 3 days in, 4 days in, and they're going to be in about the same place.
I would definitely say NA has an advantage.
It's not ideal, and I think that we've all talked about this before, how cool it would be if Blizzard was able to release the raid at the same time on Mythic throughout, just the same as they do with like Classic WoW or they did with the expansions. But I'm not really sure why they're not able to do that. I think it's some sort of like technical thing. But one of these days, maybe we'll see that possibly happen. So you obviously see that warrior go out there. He used Spell Reflect in order to reduce his magic damage taken from the explosion there. And this is actually looking like a pretty good kill here.
I will say before we dive into the nitty-gritty of the fights, I mean, we can talk about the advantage by region until we're blue in the face, but I already saw somebody in chat say that they're 16 out of 10 right now. So
wow.
I mean, talking about
years old, right?
I feel like it's a waste of breath, honestly, and we're going to hold our breath here as the big damage does start to go out, and ultimately we already start to see that positioning start to take place around the room. Keep in mind, as we start to see this area fill up, the damage is going to be more and more difficult to deal with as we have more and more of these balls that you have to avoid.
I think it's also just a matter of kind of attrition with like healing cooldowns, personal cooldowns, and just also like player mistakes. Like if you have to do a fight for 17 minutes, there's a higher chance you're going to make a mistake than if you have to do it for 5. I mean, look at them move out right there for Consume. That was actually a great Consume right there. The Warrior's getting a little bit low, but I think that he's going to be able to survive there 100%. He got into Spirit Link right there at the last second, and then they just get right back into position. I think that's probably the cleanest Consume phase they have ever had. This is an incredible job by Lazarus Imperative, and I think that there's no way, man, there is no way that they don't take it home with this boss. I really feel confident about this happening.
I think that you're definitely factual and true right now, even if this isn't the pool.
Absolutely.
They are very close to getting this down. They don't need to change anything. They just need the pull to happen.
Absolutely.
They were 0.4%, I think, at the very end there with just the tank up, and ultimately he does fall on the last pull. Now they're getting in there. They know that they can do it. They're just about to get it down, and we're going to have to see as they start to hit that 55% mark if they can just do everything clean. If you didn't see the last pull as well, they lost one of their DPS a little bit earlier on in the fight. They lost Rip, and then I believe after that they started to have a few others fall down. It started to get further and further out of their reach, but even still, they were that close. So we'll have to see if they can keep up.
Well, if you look right now, I mean, look how much. Well, I mean, they haven't had a single death at all.
I think they're really getting a lot of confidence here.
This is confidence. Yeah, exactly. They're using, they're like little minor cooldowns whenever they need to. Absolutely 100% confidence. And we're about to see the second consume go out. Now, this is going to be the struggle part of the fight where people need to make sure that they're alive. That guy died, but he's got an onk, so it's completely okay. Boss is repositioned for consume. They're already moving away from that. Everybody's got a pretty good position here. This moving in right there to get the Spirit Wink. It heals him up right there, even though he has Gluttonous Miasma, which is definitely an advantage that they have with having these shamans is to avoid that. And then they're getting right back into position. Warrior just goes in and starts popping off on the boss. Another volatile eruption. They're moving directly out of that. Amazing positioning again. And they haven't had to use one single battle res because shamans die so much. Blizzard gave them an ability to make sure that it's okay that it happens. And they just kind of factored it into the game balance.
Expect to die.
Yeah, they just expect to die. And so it's actually kind of interesting if that happens. Now, whenever you go into these fights, if any of you guys have ever done like a, any sort of like a progression boss at all, like not world first progression or anything, you know that a lot of times what these things come down to is having the right persons get the right debuffs. And I think that's what we really need to see here. And the moment that a shaman gets one of these debuffs and he dies with it, and then all he has to do is go ahead and onk, and it basically removes that debuff, that's going to be an easy kill.
That's a really good point.
Oh yeah. And like, again, you're just waiting for the right people to get the debuffs, and that is the kill. It's frustrating that you have to wait for a little bit of RNG here, but we are entering already 30% health with not a single death. This is a very, very high probability kill from Lazarus Imperative here. Everybody is staying alive, and we're going to be seeing the third consume go out right here, and if they can get through this, I feel like they can probably kill him a few seconds after the fourth consume actually ends up happening. So right there, use Die by the Sword to avoid the extra damage. Consume is going out, and we're about to see probably a leap go out right there. I don't know if we're going to have a Spirit Wing for that as well. The Monk is dead, which is going to be a little bit of a struggle for them, but they have an easy battle res for him. He's probably going to take it the moment that this ends. There it is. He took the battle res. They get right back into position, and then this is where the damage really starts to happen. You've got the execute damage going in, and you have some classes like Warrior that can execute at 35%, but most classes actually that begins at 20%, and they're about to hit that as well, and this is where they really start pumping. They've only had to use one res, and they're already doing a massive amount of damage. At this point, this is their pull to loose.
Yeah, keep in mind, on
That's
top
perfect.
of all of that, look at how clean this is at this
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Even if there was a little bit of a mistake, even if a few more fell off, 16%
I'd be shocked
damage.
if they didn't kill it right here. They're going to take the lead.
It's theirs to lose. It is theirs to lose. Yeah. Lazarus Imperative potentially going. We got to get the pinata pretty soon here. Lazarus Imperative getting ready to actually take it home and go for 3 out of 10. Hopefully I didn't jinx them there. Yeah, make sure not to walk under.
Look, it's one of those things, right? It's they get the confidence, they get the reps in. It's muscle memory. They're doing an incredible job. It's
Here we
just
go. They got one guy. One guy went down. That's okay. They're going to have one more of the spreads, and then after they have one more spread, there's Expunge. They're going to have to spread out for this. Now, all they need to do is get through this consume. They get through this consume, they kill the boss. This is all that matters. Do the consume, do the boss. That's it. Here we go. They're about to move in just a second after this volatile expulsion. Hopefully nobody dies by this. 4 people dead. This is totally fine.
It's okay.
This is 100%
Is the
fine.
consume?
Warrior went over there. That's really smart by that Warrior. He went to refresh Mortal Strike on the boss to make sure the boss healed for as little amount of health as possible.
Really good catch.
Yes, and he's already got healed up to about, I don't know, 7% or so.
And it's not going to matter because they're going to finish it right here.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say they're going to finish it right here.
Hell
it's
yeah,
over.
dude. This is it.
They just have to dodge this one volatile ejection. They're going to be fine. Move in, 0%. Boom,
there it is, dude.
Congrats,
there it is,
Lazarus, Imperative taking the lead. Old Blood Legion.
There it is.
Old school guild coming back. That's pretty
about
badass.
that?
Here's the
How
real
about
thing
that?
Pretty
that's so
badass.
crazy, though.
Oh, what is this? Which boss are they doing here? Oh, Redemption of the Sun King. Okay, now, gentlemen, guys, this is going to be quite a challenge for them, because you've got to keep in mind that what we read earlier today is that this boss got massively buffed in terms of his absorb shield. So there's going to be two major differences between Mythic and Heroic and Normal with the Sun King, Redemption of the Sun King. Number one big difference is that Kael'thas, in both his healing phase and also his damage phase, is going to receive a shield that needs to be either healed through or damaged through. And the failure to be able to do that will cause the entire raid to wipe. It's basically a raid wipe mechanic if you don't break the shield.
I do want to ask as well, as we look at BDGG.
Wow, they're already pulling the boss.
Our first look. They are pumping,
So
dude.
here we go. This is the third boss of the raid. So obviously you've got everybody spreading out there for greater castigation. That's cast by the main ad that's present at the beginning of the fight. They've got everybody else spread out, channeling anima into the boss. And as I was saying earlier, not only do you have to break through the absorb and also the healing shields that Kael'thas gains throughout the fight on Mythic, but on top of that, you also have to deal with the phoenixes that are present after the first transition where you actually have to damage Kael'thas. You have to deal with those phoenixes for the entire duration of the fight.
I do have a question.
Go ahead.
I'm just curious how you guys feel about it. Do you think that this is going to be the choice that most guilds go for after Huntsman?
I think so, because this boss has received a lot of nerfs, and on top of that, I think that it's indicative of the challenge of the boss, that some of the mechanics were doubled in terms of their difficulty. So I think this boss is going to see a pretty quick kill, and they're already healing up Shade of Kael'thas.
Look how many heals. They got 6 heals coming in for this fight as well.
Oh,
They got 2 of the priests, 2 shamans. They got the monk, and also they're going to be using that holy paladin. So they're going all out, and I wouldn't be surprised,
And there's the Mythic
too.
mechanic right there. The world shall burn. There it is. And that is what happens when you don't do it right.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure that you heal through that mechanic. And that's why they brought 6 healers.
Yeah. Hello.
Well, we're back at it again. And as you can see, so is BDGG working on Shade of Kael'thas at 52%. They're doing a great job with his damage, kiting around those phoenixes. Now, this is the Unleashed Pyroclasm, and we made it just in time for them to break the shield. This could actually be it. They broke the fucking shield. All they need to do is give them a 45% health right now, and they're able to kill it. But this is a lot. It's a lot for them to do. This could 100% be it. Already going down below 50% health, repositioning them. They've got heroism going out as well. This could very, very easily be a push, and even if it might not be, they could maybe even damage through this second shield if they're able to use their cooldown. So there's the second Unleashed Pyroclasm. This is a huge amount of damage for them. 2 seconds, 1 second, and they broke it.
Oh, nice.
Holy shit.
Okay,
I didn't even think
big.
that happened.
That was huge.
This is big.
Oh my god.
This is really big.
Okay, here we go. 48, 47%. All they need to do is push it. And again, these ads are really hard for them to deal with, but this boss is insane. We've got 2% more left. He's at 47%, 46.5, 25. Oh man,
this is so.
This is I don't know. God, it's over.
Such a tight
it's over.
spot,
I don't
dude.
know,
Yeah.
man. Like those phoenixes are so hard to deal with. So again,
Yeah.
guys, for anybody who doesn't understand, these phoenixes persist for the entire fight. And if you want me to be honest, I don't know how the fuck they're going to be able to do it.
Dude, it's one of those things where it's right on the razor's edge, too, because you can see it's like, okay, if you have a little bit more damage with the cooldowns, you hit that break point in the fight. But I do want to mention
the healing and you hit the first set of ads.
Yeah, this is like such a cool balance of a fight. But
Look
one
at
of
all
the
those
things is,
But we can take a look at Sun King and see how they're doing, how BDGG is doing. Because, I mean, if they were that close to killing it, I really think that we could see a killing pull in maybe just, okay,
I mean, it literally could be this pull.
Yeah, this could literally
be
be the kill, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's go. It's time. Okay, they're gripping everything inside. That's good. And it's the same thing as always. I mean, these guys at this point, I mean, how many wipes have they had? 28 wipes on this boss. When was the last time that you saw 28 wipes on a boss this early on? This is absolutely insane. And there's only one guild that's killed 3 bosses, and it's 7 p.m. I know servers took a little bit of time, but still, this is really impressive.
Yeah, no, for sure. At this point, I kind of think we just need to watch it and see what happens, because I think they're doing totally fine.
I mean, this is one of those things where, like, literally a mistake by 2 people in the raid in terms of damage at the same time leads to a wipe. because you're going to need to have everybody on point for these healing cooldowns and being able to heal the shields off the boss, and on top of that, being able to do the damage and break the shields off the boss with the damage. So clearly, they just broke him through the first phase. They've done this, as I said, like many times before. They've already got this thing down pretty much to 0. So they've improved their damage. This is like just like the little small things that people get better at whenever you do a fight a bunch of times. But they just killed that ad before Kayle was even really active. And that is going to help them focus a little bit more on Kayle. Nobody's going to have to spread out. They're not going to have to think about that. They're not going to be spending any of their, mental RAM thinking about, oh, what about this thing or that thing or anything. They just get to focus on just burning down the boss and doing as much damage as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really curious here to see when they're going to use heroism. I could see them maybe withholding heroism for this entire phase.
Well, and I think they should.
If they withhold heroism for this entire phase, they kill the boss if they get into the second phase.
Yeah.
That is a 100% chance, and they can do it. We all know that they can do it, and I think they know they can do it too. They haven't used heroism. They're going for it. They're taking the long shot, and with how many times they've been able to push this without having to worry about heroism, all they need to do is get this right. And would you rather wipe 5 minutes in or like fucking 10 minutes in? So if they break this shield right here, I think that's a pretty much guarantee that they can do it the right time every single time. There it is. They broke it. Yeah, I think that we're watching the kill attempt here, boys, assuming that nobody makes a mistake. All right, here we go. Let's see it. 46%.
We got into 45.
We might see one more of the I don't know. It's really hard to say. If we see one more of them, then this might get a little bit
this is getting a little sloppy right here,
bad.
to be honest.
So we got one. Oh, God.
Good,
there it is. Oh, my God.
Very
It's like
good.
their damage is even better, and they're not even using heroism. This is it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's go, boys. Let's see it. Okay, they've got the Phoenixes CC'd right in there, keeping them in place with Chains of Ice.
Perfect.
You've got the Vanquisher coming down. You've got everybody getting in position to just burn down these ads. And again, the Vanquisher is not a big deal. Like, his damage has been nerfed multiple times, and just in general, he's pretty much a cosmetic ad that you just have to deal with whenever nothing else is alive, and it just kind of makes the fight a little bit more annoying, more so than anything. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, what they're going to be doing here is they're about to get ready for the first big healing. There's Cloak of Flames. We're going to need to see some big healing on Kayle. And if they could break through this, there's no reason why they can't break through this first cloak, because they've got Guardian Spirit. They've got everything they need to have, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have no trouble making this happen.
Well, it's like you said earlier.
Look at those grips.
Yeah, it's like you said earlier. It's the concept of like taking out a loan on your DPS, right? So they didn't use the bonus DPS that they have from heroism and whatnot earlier. So now you have a chance to take it, ride it out, go to the point where you actually are going to need it, because you do need that burst DPS or higher DPS in a shorter phase. And I really think that they're going to have a chance to kill it here, especially with how close that last attempt was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this could absolutely be it. They're already cleaving down these ads, and then the ads are starting to use their heal, and then they broke the heal out of the ads. Oh, yeah, this is going to be an easy kill for these guys. They've got the Vanquisher down. The Phoenixes are in a pretty good position, too. Obviously, Phoenixes are hard to control. I think that Limit has done probably a little bit of a better job than BDGG on controlling the Phoenixes, but will it really matter? I mean, if they've got heroism up, they're going into the second phase. Kayle Thos is already at 80% health. The infusers are CC'd right there in the back. They're not even going to worry about the infusers. They're just going to push Kayle and then just burn him down as fast as they can and cleave down the infusers. This is 100% a great strategy.
Yeah, I think this is great.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They've got the Phoenix down right there. Everything. The Vanquishers are dying. The Soul Infusers are they're not going to get there in time. There's no way, because they'll get stunned and killed. And, like, you see their health going down.
Vanquisher's down.
Oh, yeah, they're done. They're dead. And then we're going to see Kayle in just a second. There it is, Kayle phase right now. Everybody alive. They don't have heroism used. There are no ads. You are watching the kill attempt, boys. Let's see it.
I'll be shocked
there
if they
we
don't kill
go.
it right here.
Yep, they have to do it. So they're holding off on heroism just for a couple of seconds here, because they want to make sure that they're using it for all three of the different ads. All three of the different shields. They have the Ember Blast going out. No problem with Ember Blast. Fiery Strike. You're going to see the shield in one ability from now. I think it's right after this next ability. There it is. It's going to be right after this, I believe. 2 people do go down. That's not looking good. That's a choke, but they've got a res up. That means there's only one person going down. You're going to see heroism go out right there. People are popping off. Tons of damage there. We're breaking that shield. 2 seconds, 1 second. They're killing that with more than enough time to spare.
And I believe they're down one healer. Healer is who they left down.
Yeah, that's completely fine then, because they don't need
I think
the
that's
extra
great.
healing.
They need the damage.
They lost one more person. Now, after this next Ember Strike, they're going to have their second shield. This is where it's going to be a challenge. Then the guy was able to res up because he was a shaman. Everything's going completely fine. Now this next Ember Strike, this is going to be, there's going to be a Fiery Strike, then an Ember Blast, and then this is the big one. This is the big one they have to break through. Here we go. Unstable Pyroclasm, they're going to break it because there was a little bit of delay. There was a little bit of delay with the cast. They broke it 100%. They actually got kind of lucky with that. And then 3%. 3%. 2 people are dead. 2 people are dead. Let's see if they're going to be able to do it. Let's see. Yeah, 3 people. Three people down. It's totally okay. They might have to just immune this. We'll see what happens. And they've still only lost that many people. 1.6, 1.5. Come on.
So close.
Come on. Let's get it. Blazing Surge. Get out of that. There it is. 9%, 0.9, 0.7, 0.6. It's over.
Nice.
There it is. BDGG takes it home for 3 out of 10.
What
What a play.
What a play, dude.
There it is, boys.
What a good
Oh, my
play,
God.
Dude.
I did not expect that to happen. Look at that. Oh, there's the Purpies. Look at the Purpies. Look at the guy's hand, dude. He's shaking. You knew it.
Dude, that was nuts.
Oh, my God. Congratulations to
kill,
BDGG. So, guys, I wanted to say thank you all so much for such a supportive first day here. This absolutely exceeded all of our expectations, and it completely blew it out of the water.
So, like, look at the front, man.
Can I tell you something funny?
Oh, it looks like dog shit. Yeah, go ahead.
That's photoshopped.
Wait, really? It was even worse?
That's an edited picture to make you look
Oh, my God.
good. We spent so much money on that picture,
Oh,
dude.
my God.
That's a professional grade Photoshop.
That's the best it can get. That's as good as it gets, guys, right there.
Dude, Tips, how much did we spend on that picture? $3,000. We actually spent $3,000. You look like that.
Laugh it up.
Oh, man.
Laugh it up, boys.
Why the heck did we spend $3,000 on that? Please buy the merch.
And he told him,
Yo.
rise, rise again. For the beasts in Azeroth crave a challenge. And the young man looked directly into Xavius' eyes and said, Vanilla was actually harder because of many reasons, okay? Vanilla WoW raiding was much more challenging than this retail WoW bullshit. So I'm going to come back to retail WoW, and I'm going to fuck these bosses up because my name is Kongen. Kongen and the remainder of Nihilum will be covered during the OTK Race to World First Round table as Guild number 11. That's right.
There it is, boys.
How long did you practice
There it
that?
is.
How long did
really
you
good.
practice?
That was
Watched a lot of
really-
Kongen streams.
Really, really good.
So
Are
now-
they sponsored by M&M's?
They're sponsored by M&M Gaming.
M&M Gaming?
Marshall Mathers is different.
Are you seriously? Yep. Marshall, like it,
Wait, they're actually sponsored
What?
by the Rap God?
what?
Wait, really?
Bro, I'm sitting here like I'm thinking.
I was just kidding.
Yeah, I thought you were just joking around. I wanted to make like a little comment about
Yo,
M&M's.
what's up, Eminem?
Yo, what up, dude?
Dude,
Is
you
he
think he's
watching
actually
us?
watching?
Hey, Slim Shady, what
Dude,
up, bro?
yo,
Dude,
yo, Eminem, I have a friend. His name's Mitch Jones. I think he's
Please,
the next
like,
big
can you
thing.
please let us send you
Just come
his
to-
mixtape?
Yo, will you check out
No,
our
yeah.
Spotify?
Just get him to come
Please.
here.
Or will you
Yeah,
check
that's
Spotify?
easy, dude.
Will
Yeah,
you
no
check out
problem.
our SoundCloud?
Uh-huh.
Can you check? We have a wave. We don't have a SoundCloud. We have too high budget. We have a wave file that we can send you.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
that
on
is
sound recording.
insane. What is this? Eminem is involved with. Oh my god.
Dude, they can't even hear you, dude. Dude, S-Man, you should watch out.
Okay, hold on. Let me help you.
I'm gonna get his ass, dude. I'm gonna go.
Hold on.
Inside of this pinata, we have a bunch of loot for you. Just because you didn't get the world first kill doesn't mean that you got to go home empty-handed.
Hold.
Oh my god, dude.
Ready? 1, 2 and a half.
Oh god.
Okay, it's just like your blade storming. All right. You know how to do that.
All right.
Oh my god, he knocked it off the ceiling.
Did I get it?
You gotta condemn it, dude. It's at 20%.
Condemn.
It's at
Condemn.
20%.
Oh, yeah, I think I broke the stick. Give me a minute. Am I hitting it?
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
You broke the stick.
Oh, shit.
Punch it. Punch it. Punch it. Fuck it.
Punch it. Finish it.
Okay.
Just dual wield. Dual wield.
Dual wield. Yeah, Fury.
Dual wield.
All right.
Yes. Yes. Tandy.
Yeah. Inside is an envelope that just fell out behind you.
Where am I?
You're.
Okay, can I take my thing off?
Jack, there's candy.
Oh, there's candy. Wait.
We don't have a bat?
Shank him. Shank him. Let's go. Go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Oh!